Yo, what's going on, my YouTube community? GZTV again. I don't know if you guys know this, but I had my wisdom teeth taken out, so I can't really have my mouth open all the way. So it's going to be a little murmury. You're not going to be able to understand me all that well, but we are here to review the third episode of Season 4 Open House of Breaking Bad. Very successful show in its time. Absolutely loving it. I still have 23 episodes left to watch in the series, and I couldn't be more excited. Definitely watching one tonight. Probably gonna watch an episode of The Boys tonight as well, so that is awesome. Yeah, let's go through the plot and the reception. You guys know how it goes. If there's a good album coming out tonight, which I doubt there is, I'll be making a YouTube video for it. But if not, I'm just gonna be doing a reaction stream and then playing some video games, if you know. The episode begins as Walt furiously notices a motion detecting surveillance camera that has been installed in the lab. So Gus Fringe probably knows that Walt is out to kill him, and he's like, you know what, we're going to put up some surveillance cameras in the lab, so if he plans something, if he tries to obstruct the property, I will know, and I'll be able to come after him, that type of thing. The footage shown from the first-person perspective of Gus's camera is actual footage from the real camera. So yeah, Gus has Walt on surveillance. As long as he's working for him, he's like, I don't trust this guy anymore. I need him to be under surveillance. Later that day, Skyler convinces Walt in the meeting with Saul to buy the car wash by mentioning how the owner insulted his manhood. Again, Skyler is very adamant. She really wants Walt to go with this plan to kind of buy this car wash as a business venture, as a cover-up for all of his drug money, the money laundering. That's been Saul's big thing throughout the show. The owner insulted his manhood, kind of a pride thing for Walt. Yeah. She devises a plan to trick the owner into selling by having con artist Patrick Cuby pretend to be a water tester who is shutting down the business out of concerns over contaminants. So pretty much she's going to call him over the phone. You guys will see this later in the episode. She's going to call him over the phone and have him go over some water treatment laws, some health and safety protocol laws in New Mexico, and tell him that he violated these, that type of thing. She has it all figured out. The owner promptly sells to her, agreeing to an even lower price than her original offer. So yeah, Bogdan is like, oh my goodness, I'm really violating all these things. I didn't even realize it. I'm not doing anything wrong, but at the same time, unconsciously I am. I am doing something wrong, which we know is false because Patrick is a con artist. Jesse is still feeling numb from recent events, attempting to clear his head with nostalgic go-kart trips. So yeah, Jesse's trying to kind of find a getaway. This isn't the best episode. I will get into the review here in a second. Jesse's trying to find a getaway, find something to take his mind off of things. He killed Gail Boudichere, one of the most innocent guys we've seen in the entire show, which it had to be done, to be fair with you. It really did have to be done because, Gus was planning on Gail completely taking over as the main chemist in the company, even though he knows that Walt is probably the better chemist out of the two. Gail has lab notes. He's pretty determined to take over the job. He was, until Jesse killed him, and now the guilt is just flooding him. But now, the good thing is Walt can go back to the job, and Jesse can as well. They both can kind of work together. Walt has used his mind manipulation to kind of get back into the company. He continues to open his house up for all-night drug-fueled orgies, deliberately throwing piles of money in the midst of the chaos. So he's like, yeah, I got some money. I can throw it to you guys to keep thwarting you guys into my door. I want company, I can't do this by myself. Skinny Pete and Badger don't really want to come over and stay with me. They probably feel sorry for me. They don't want to be around me while I'm dealing with this stuff. Yeah, there's just a couple storylines going on in here. Nothing too crazy in this episode. I feel like it's kind of a filler episode to kind of get some pieces together, kind of set up for some stuff happening that's going to happen later in the season. I'm really excited. Breaking Bad, each of their seasons are kind of structured the same, Start off with some story development, some character development, some building into the finales, and the finales are always fantastic. They've never missed so far. So yeah, it's really awesome. They do very good. They do a very good job. The creators of the show. Angry and frustrated by Hank's continuous cold shoulder, Marie resumes her kleptomania. She starts stealing objects from real estate open houses where she also makes up elaborate stories about who she is, but is eventually caught by a real estate agent. Marie, kind of frustrated with how, Hank's just been brushing her off. She's like, you know what? I'm going to go back to my stealing ways. I'm going to go back. It's kind of like a stress reliever for her, but at the same time, it's going to cause some stress because the real estate agent catches her in the act. She gets in a lot of trouble. She lies. She's a bad person when she wants to be. You know what I mean? That's just how Marie is, though. We've noticed that of her character. I'm not a big fan of Marie. She's one of my least favorite characters in the show, but she does what she has to do to get through the world. A livid Hank pulls strings with the senior police officer to get her out of being charged. So, Hank obviously used to be a part of the DEA. He can definitely do some manipulating. He can tell his officers, his former coworkers, because right now he's not in the DEA. He's still recovering. He's technically not employed there or anything. He's like, hey, my wife tried to steal something. She lied. She did all this type of stuff. Can you please get her out for me? Can you do a friendly favor, a friend with benefits type thing? So they agree to doing it. The same officer drops by the Schrader residence to seek Hank's help by giving him Gail's lab notes to look at. So he's like, well, while we were searching Gail Bodesher's residence, we found out that he has lab notes and he works for a meth lab. This is something we didn't know about before. Maybe your Heisenberg guy had something to do with this. Maybe Gail and Heisenberg work together. They're trying to kind of piece the puzzles together. And, we really thought that Hank was going to be done working for the DEA. We thought he was going to be done investigating drug bust and trying to get into that situation. But hey, this is a big opportunity. He failed in this case before, but now it's like, hey, we got to get back into this. We got to get back into my job. I'm not going to be employed, but I can do this as kind of a side hustle while I'm recovering here from being shot, obviously, by the Salamancas. And yeah, Hank initially shoves away the notebook, but begins to read it later that night. He's a very restless person. Hank is very determined. I like it about him. He's got this kind of tough guy persona going on in the show. I think it's pretty good. I'm trying to open my mouth, kind of stretch it out while I'm making this video. I feel like, again, I said this on my Twitch stream last night. I shouldn't be talking that much because, eventually, I don't know if you guys know what a dry socket is, but yeah, that could possibly happen. Reception. The episode was viewed by 1. That doesn't really mean anything. 22nd highest rated program on the day it aired. The episode received positive reviews. People were particularly interested in the Marie and Jesse characters this episode. Called it a credit to the show's evolution that the supporting cast subplots can be so interesting about Walt. People liked David Slade's directing, particularly during the jump shots and Jesse's scenes. People call it a great episode, an improvement over the previous two. I disagree. I think Box Cutter is better than it. It could be better than 38 Snub, though. That's not bad. People liked the way Skyler's character proved herself to both Walter and Saul, and praised Betsy Brandt's performance, claiming her subplot provided much-needed comic relief and reminded people of the works of David Sedaris. People liked the development of Skyler's character and said the episode touched upon a common theme in Breaking Bad about masculinity. With Skyler asserting herself in Walter's work and Hank taking out his insecurities about being disabled on Marie. People say the script raises the question, what does it mean to be a strong man? People call it one of the best episodes the show has ever done, which I don't agree with. Despite diverting the attention from Walter to the support cast members, people say the episode well demonstrated how Walter's actions affected others around him and said Marie's character was more interesting than in the past. Other people complimented the performances by Betsy Brandt and Aaron Paul, who is Jesse. People say, seriously, does any actor on TV convey more by saying less than Aaron Paul? Yeah, I think Aaron Paul's a really good actor. I've definitely grown to like him throughout this series. I agree. I think he does a really good job at what he does. People also compared Skyler's increasingly calculated approach to Walter's drug dealing to Gus's personality. So we kind of see some reminders of like guy like Gus. I think it's really interesting. People praised Brandt's performance, and they say it was interesting to see an episode so focused on Skyler and Marie on a show usually dominated by the male characters. However, people also say Skylar's transformations from concerned wife to competent criminal partner felt too sudden. Maybe they rushed that personality. Maybe they rushed that climax, that change in the show a little bit. I can agree with that, you know. She was very, very worried at the beginning, and it felt kind of unnatural for her to all of a sudden to be like, oh my god, I'm with you, Walt. You did a lot of bad shit. Let me help you out. Not all reviews were positive. People enjoyed Marie and Open House, but they felt the scenes at Jesse's house were too over the top, and that Skylar's concerns about Walter's safety seemed out of character. It is in the worst half of the episodes, but again, I don't know if there's really a terrible episode in here. Each episode serves its purpose in the show. That's kind of the beauty of it. I don't have much else to say. My mouth is hurting. I need to give it a break before tonight's stream. Yeah, I'm out. Have a good rest of your day, everybody. Sorry about the